decade, there has been a focus by Barack Obama and Joe Biden and their administrations, a focus that I find as inexplicable as it has been catastrophic, on freeing terrorists from American detention. In 2009, the Obama-Biden foreign policy team decided to close the detention facility at Camp Bucca in Iraq. By 2014, as ISIS was forming, it became clear that over a dozen of the group's top leaders had been freed from Camp Bucca. The Biden administration made a conscious decision, again inexplicably, to abandon that critical position, and with it the high-security prisoners housed there. Having still apparently learned nothing, releasing terrorists, seeing them killing Americans, releasing more terrorists, seeing them killing more Americans, the Biden administration is talking about doing it again. Now they're talking about closing the facility at Guantanamo Bay.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and I despise Ted Cruz. I hate everything about him. I hate his voice. I hate his stupid beard. And I'm a fan of decent beards, but Ted Cruz just can't pull that off either. Ted Cruz loves to hear himself speak, and I know for a fact that his colleagues, Republican, Independent, and Democrat alike, cannot stand that guy. You see, Ted Cruz is loyal to only one person, and that's Ted Cruz. And for God's sakes, the guy threw his daughter under the bus when he got caught flying down to Cancun while his constituents were literally freezing to death so he could lounge around and soak up the heat down there. Trump called his wife ugly, and Ted Cruz responded by kissing Trump's ass. Ted ran as fast as he could down to Trump's Florida home to make sure that Trump knew that Ted Cruz had no hard feelings about what he said about his wife, and that Ted would do whatever his orange savior wanted. Another thing I hate almost as much as I hate Ted Cruz is when someone uses the military to earn themselves brownie points, especially when that someone has never worn the uniform. Someone like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz does this all the time, and what the hell is he even talking about here? Guantanamo Bay needs to be shut down. It is filled with criminals, yes, but it's also filled with random people that were wrongly picked up and just left to rot. No due process, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is un-American. We need to do better. We can protect our homeland while maintaining our principles and values that we have and hold dear as Americans. As someone that has served in Afghanistan and Iraq multiple times, let me tell you some stories that Ted Cruz likes to ignore. And I say ignore because I know he has classified briefings, so he knows this happens. At times, innocent people were framed by their neighbors or business rivals and accused of terrorism, and we locked them up without asking any questions or verifying the intel. Those people may not have hated America then, but they sure as hell do now. Guantanamo Bay is a hotbed for radicalizing people, and we can say, oh well, we should just keep them locked up and continue the human rights violations, or we could do the American thing and figure this out. Every single person locked up needs their day in court. The terrorists can remain locked up on American soil or at The Hague. We've not always been perfect. As Americans, we've made our fair share of mistakes, and Guantanamo Bay is one of them. The difference between Democrats and Republicans is we as Democrats own our mistakes, and we try to rectify and make amends. The Republicans double and triple down and have no problem with continuing in ignorance and bliss. President Biden is not saying he wants to release Guantanamo Bay detainees without any questions asked and close the book and move on. No, we need to have trials for each and every single detainee, and we need a plan. And as Americans, that's how we do things. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.